Dear pigeon fanciers, a very warm welcome at the breeding and racing lounge from Hans and Eijerkamp. I'm very happy to introduce today our special selection system, which we made in over 100 years experience with pigeon sport. My father Hans and I have. I want to tell you and explain you about our 7 points. The first point is a very easy point. It all goes about genetics. I always say you cannot make a racing horse from a cow. So this is very important that in the pedigree from the pigeon where you want to have success with, there are a lot of ace pigeons. In parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, the line from the pigeon must bring a lot of winners. For this, you don't need to handle the pigeons, just look for the pedigree. This is point number 1. Point 2, charisma, vitality. When you handle the pigeon, you see, for example, this pigeon, a beautiful cock, Olympic hands. He was the best cock from the Netherlands over the last 2 years, and he represented Netherlands as #1 at the all-round sporting class. This pigeon flew in 2 years fantastic results. Look how he turns around his head. This is vitality. When you handle him, he wants to go away, he wants to fly away. And this I learned from the old Peter Weert, the famous best selector in the world, the father from Henk de Weert. When you grab a pigeon by the nose, he must put his nose back. You see what happens here. This is vitality. Point number 2. The third point number 3, the balance of the pigeon. We like to see a pigeon, handle a pigeon, which have a good balance. For example, this is like a pencil. When you handle this bird, it's like a pencil. It stays like this. Especially in a longer distance, above 300 kilometers, this must be one line. The back must not go to left, must not go to right. It don't be a very strong back, but it must be balanced in the back. This pigeon has a perfect balance. Can you imagine? He won first prizes from 200 kilometers, but he also won first MPO semi-national chartreux, 700 kilometers. The real super all-round pigeons where we look for, always. Here my heart goes open because I'm very enthusiastic every time when I handle him. In my hands I have the world famous new Olympiad. This pigeon we bought at the total auction from Leo Heermans, that world record auction from Pipa, and we bought him for the amount from 210,000 euro. But my father and I, we did not have 1 second regret from that, because this pigeon became one of our best breeders. His descendants fly at 5 continents. In China, Australia, Europe, America, all about the world, also in South Africa. His children, great-grandchildren, winning a lot of prizes and prize money. He's a superb pigeon. He was the 2nd best pigeon at the Olympiad in Poznan for Belgium. And with this pigeon I want to explain point number 4, the wing. The wing is a very important point for the pigeon. We have 2 parts from the wing. At first we have the back wing. When you handle a pigeon, you just open it like this. Oh, you see here super vibration. Then you open it, and with my last finger, my pink, I always check the back wing. I do like this. This must be short and it must be thick. Not like a small newspaper. This must be thick. You must not hear it. Another point to see if the back wing is strong enough, I do with this finger, and there's a small bone between the body and the wing, and between that bone you can only put 1 finger. And this is also a point I learned from a world famous fencer, Koen Minderhout. We brought visits to many ventures all over the world. We handled a lot of pigeons, big ace pigeons, small ace pigeons, but the points I explain you, they all have that in common. A very short back wing and thick. The thicker, the better. I compare that with a nice story from a famous fencer, a good selector also in Holland, Martin van Zon. I like to explain the famous back wing, the short back wing, with this example. Next to me is standing Arnold Paalman. He's also responsible for our breeders. He's a very fanatic young pigeon fencer, 30 years younger than me. Now we will walk. I'm going to walk like this, and Arnold is going to spread his arms and going to walk. Now you can imagine who will win. This is very heavy what he's doing. Well, I talked about the back wing. I explained that with the new Olympiad. I want now to discuss part number 2 from point 4, the front wing. In my hands I have the world famous Euro, one of the best breeders and racers in the world, also direct from Leo Hermans. He bred many champions. I want to show the front wing from him. Where we look for the front wing are the last 3 feathers. They must be on one line. You can see that with this pigeon very good. There must be a lot of ventilation between the last 3 feathers, and they are on one line. You can see this. The second point in the front wing is the difference between number 6 and number 7 feather. I show you here. You see, the bigger the gap, the more possibility they have to fly first prizes. And he won a lot. And I'm not talking about his children and grandchildren, great-grandchildren. In this pigeon in the genes is winning first prizes against big competition, one of his famous capacities. This is the front wing, very important. The 3 last feathers, good ventilation between them, not too big, and a big gap between number 6 and 7. Well, I want to introduce you by point number 5, another ace pigeon. This is Olympic Leo. He was first Olympiad pigeon in Germany at Nitra, and he was second national ace pigeon also from Germany, winning in the all-round. So winning first prizes from 100 till 600 kilometers. You see his vitality, he's turning his head around, and I want to discuss now point number 5, the muscles. The muscles is also a very important part for the pigeon. And this is a very hard point to feel that. For this, you need a lot of pigeon experience. I started at the age of 12 judging pigeons. My father gave me pigeons, good pigeons, bad pigeons, not so good pigeons in the hand. And we had a towel around our head. So in the dark, we must judge pigeons. Can you imagine how difficult it was? And in that time, he told us, you give the pigeon a 1, then it's a good pigeon. When you give it a 2, then it's a medium quality pigeon. And when you give it a 3, it's rubbish. It's not a good pigeon. This is how we learn to judge pigeons in balance and especially in muscles. In that time, can you imagine, that was in the end of the 60s, beginning of 70s, our house friend Peter Weert visited us many times. He came with his son together, Henk de Weert, the famous pigeon doctor, and the old Peter Weert learned us about muscles. When you want to feel muscles, you have to close your eyes. And with these 4 fingers, you put next to the bone of the pigeon. You close your eyes and then you feel a little bit vibration. You must be quiet in yourself and then you feel it. It's not a heartbeat, but you feel the vibration is coming. A pigeon with a good muscles, a lot of muscles, especially for the middle and longer distance, they need that because otherwise they cannot fly 5, 6, 7, 8 hours after each other. But it's hard to feel the good muscles. When the muscles are too hard for the pigeon, they only can fly till 200-300 kilometers, no longer. But they need that elastic muscles. Feel it with the tops of your fingers. Close your eyes and keep them next to that bone. And feel how the vibration starts, or not start. This pigeon has a tremendous good muscles. Otherwise, a pigeon cannot fly the all-round so good from 100 till 700 kilometers. But it's a difficult point. Many fanciers don't know how to do that. And for this, we made point number 6. It's very important that you feel the muscles with the hand you always use. As you see, I'm left-handed. I always want to feel with my left-handed fingertips the muscles. I want to introduce this point with one of our best racing and breeding hands. This is Indy. Indy is the old Jensen Vallone. In this pigeon, you find the old Jensens where my father started about 65 years ago with. In her blood you find the old Bang and the old Mercs. This hen became number 3rd national ace pigeon from the Netherlands as yearling, and she was winning 3 top 10 prizes in MPO races. Her children also racing fantastic, and she became a very good breeding hen. The organs, the throat, a very important point. This pigeon has also super muscles, but when you are not able to feel if they have good or not so good muscles, this is also an important point. For this point, the hen cannot be just before laying eggs, and the pigeon must always be in very good condition. You open the mouth and you see already how hard it is with this pigeon. This is a good sign. And then you look in the throat. And the throat must be small and very deep away. All good pigeons, racing and breeding birds have a very deep throat. You have to look like this before you can see it. Deep throat, super muscles together. Very important for the pigeon. Then the last point, point number 7. We talked about the wing, but we did not talk about the feather, the silk of the feather. The pigeon, of course, must have a very silky feather. I always explain it. When you do like this with the pigeon, it's like the skin from a lady from 21 years. For example, when it's not soft, it's like the skin from an old woman from 80 years. So this must be also very nice and soft. All pigeon men in the world know what I mean. Well, these are the 7 points. This bird has everything, and I hope I helped you a little bit by explaining our selection system. Every pigeon we sell all over the world must be good in these 7 points. We always say, when the pigeon is not good enough for ourselves, he's not good enough for our customers. Because when you come to Eijerkamp, you not only buy good pigeons, good quality, but you are guaranteed for your life with results. We give guarantee on our pigeons. We do that for more than 60 years, and we like to do that because we have one thought in mind. When we are old, over 50 years, we like that the people still talk about Eijerkamp, one of the best racing and breeding families in the world, because pigeons is in our heart. Thank you very much.